We're talking with Tom Edwards about the history of Laurel Street Methodist Church and about his memories of his early days there, and then we're going to go up through probably the most catastrophic thing Tom can remember, other than 9/11 or a tsunami. Tom, when did you first start going to Laurel Street?
I think I started somewhere around in 1948. I was a member of Pace Memorial. My parents were and grandparents, and so we lived in the neighborhood of Laurel Street, and Pace Memorial was the type of church that had no youth in it, even back in those days, because it was a type of neighborhood of older people, Crestwood apartments, Monroe Terrace apartments. So we knew other people that went down there that were young, and so we started going down there somewhere around when I was about 16 years old.
Did you meet anybody special there? Is that where you met Uchi?
No, I had known her before then, and she wasn't a member of Laurel Street. She was went to Christian Missionary Alliance Church, and that's where her mother belonged. And up at Stewart Avenue, Mulberry. So I guess she began singing in the choir because so many of the people we knew, young people, sang in the choir then, and so she started attending Laurel Street also. I would say back in the early 50s anyway.
When were you all married?
We were married in April 26, 1956. Not in Laurel Street Church. At the time we were getting married, we didn't have a big wedding. We just had somebody stand up with us. The preacher there was Elmore Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And he was going to be away. So we went to, he recommended that he got to preach at Central Methodist on Porter Street. And his name was Beverly Kelty.
No.
You remember that?
I sure do.
And the first preacher we had there, because when I went to Laurel Street, they were between ministers. Lois Gardner had some problems and left the ministry. And so they had some interim. I don't even think he was an ordained minister, but he was served there for months until Raleigh Mann came. Raleigh Mann was really a spark plug, wasn't he? He was that, and I really liked him a whole lot.
He was a guy that church was really, it was sort of at loose ends when he got there, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Carlos Gardner, I didn't know him very well. I'd seen him before, but he had an alcohol problem. Yeah. And the church, of course, then was not at its biggest strength it had been, some years past. And there were some problems, financial and attendance, because most of the members that did attend didn't live in the neighborhood anymore.
Yeah. So Raleigh Mann came there, and he really got things moving in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and he made a lot of nice contacts with people. I think he folded them together in the church, and but he left after 4 years, and most of us was very sorry for him to leave.
That was that old Methodist thing in those days, 4 and out.
Following him, though, came Lambert Fennell. He didn't last for 2 years. 2 years is all he lasted.
Well, when Raleigh came there, it was, y'all were preparing for the 100th anniversary at that point, weren't you?
Certainly were, yeah.
And Raleigh was there for the 100th anniversary.
Yeah, I think he came in the switch ministers in October. Those days.
Yeah, they did in October.
So he was there, I guess, at the time for the 100th anniversary. And of course, it's been, like Gilbert said before, much planning had been going on before he came.
Yeah. What do you remember most about Laurel Street Church in those early days that you were there?
Well, I remember we had a youth MYF back in those days, and which we as young teenagers attended. And then we did have a youth group there, one time of young married couples. And we always had Saturday night movies there for the kids in the neighborhood. That was put on down in the basement level there, and they would rent a movie and show it to the kids, and they'd have natural popcorn things, which was nice for the neighborhood kids. And I do remember, because I had a lot of young friends that went there at that time, and like I said, a lot of them were in the choir. And so we had some enjoyable times with the NYF and the young adults get together after that.
Now, you met Uchi, and you all have known each other, but really, Laurel Street became your home church at that point, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly did. My mother and I had 3 brothers and a sister, and we all went there. My father was at First Baptist at the time. He was Baptist, and he never went with us to church or anything, but he did go there. And we went to Laurel Street, because we only lived about 3 blocks from it. Yeah. And so it was very easy for us to go. And another thing they had back in that day that I was interested in and played a lot was softball team. Yeah. Yeah. So we were in the West End Church League with Laurel Street softball team.
That was a big league, wasn't it?
It was.
A lot of active
churches, and it was a big church league, and we had a fairly good team. We couldn't compete with Park Avenue Baptist or First Baptist because they had better pitchers. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
You went with the fire department. What year did you go with the fire department?
In August of 1955.
That was your career, wasn't it?
Yeah, I spent 37 years.
That's a career. Pushing ahead to 1968, tell us about the fire. What was your first? You were on duty that night, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on duty. I was a lieutenant in charge of a platoon at number 10 Engine Company at Lombard and Broad, 1609 West Broad, which is today the Firehouse Theater. Yeah. And back in those days, in a residential area, we would always send 2 engine companies and a ladder company on an initial alarm. And I think I've been told this, and I think it was pretty true because I know the guy he's still around that was the first in on that. And whoever called the alarm in reported a tree on fire. And that's probably what they could see of their windows through some trees or something. And so he immediately, when he arrived, he knew what it was, and he sounded the second alarm, and which I responded on, the second alarm. And I was told when I arrived, my assignment was, the company, was we made sure the fire was contained and stayed at the Pine Street Baptist Church. So we did a good job.
How close was Pine Street Baptist to Laurel Street?
About a 25-foot alley separated.
So it was right
in.
They were end to end.
Mm-hmm. So we were fortunate to be able to.
Did Pine run parallel? Pine runs parallel to Laurel, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pine runs parallel to Laurel, and both of them on the corner of Laurel and Albemarle. Yeah. Pine Street just faced Pine Street. Yeah. Laurel Street faced Laurel Street. And so they didn't have any damage to that church.
By the time you got there, what did it look like?
Oh, it was coming through the roof. It was totally involved, particularly the back end. Maybe not so much up near the front at that time, but towards the back end, it was totally involved.
I'll show you some of these pictures that Joan Wilson gave me, and we sort of blew them up.
Are you sure that was Joan or Uchi?
Was it Uchi who gave them to me?
And little pictures?
Yeah, was it Uchi gave them? Okay, I wanted to get credit. I'll go on record that Uchi gave me those pictures.
Well, as you can see, most of the damage started like that, came forward.
Yeah.
And of course, you can see that the roof is gone through here now. And over here, naturally, you can see it better, much better.
Did you turn this on?
Yeah, turn around so. It was just total destruction, wasn't it?
Total destruction. As you can see, the roof is gone back then, and particularly, of course, the altar and choir loft area and so forth, that which was back then, pulpit and so forth, was totally gone. And this gives you a shot from inside looking toward the front. Just another picture from the back end of the church, I think it was. Here's another picture showing the inside of total destruction.
Just complete.
This fire was declared awesome, but I don't think anyone ever was caught or convicted for it. Our Fire Prevention Bureau, in their investigation, declared it as arson fire. And just prior to that, I had seen the other one, but I didn't. I wasn't on duty in December of 1966. Pace Memorial burned.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that was done with what they call Molotov cocktail.
Is that right?
Tossed inside the church. Yeah.
The Pace Memorial was on the corner of
Pine and Franklin.
yeah, Pine and Franklin. And wow.
Old church was.
And so they moved the new Pace Memorial over there to about Crestwood Apartments.
Well, that's where the old one was.
Is that where the old one was?
They just did, when they rebuilt the church, they built it more modern because Pace Memorial had a tremendous steeple. Because I've climbed up it many a time and stepped through the clock.
Yeah.
But when they rebuilt it, they just lowered the type of roofing that they had on it and did away with the steeple.
The next day, that was January
15th.
15th, 1968.